bets. Show us your tips. Daggy and Beaver with you to look towards Stradbroke Day. Two big cards from Eagle Farm and potentially a drier Randwick, would you believe? Which is a bit exciting. Beaver, in the money again on Wednesday?
Oh, mate. No stopping us, mate. Another good result on that on Wednesday, wasn't it?
Yeah, you're going all right. I don't know how I started, but yeah, you picked a couple at a price and all the Queensland bets again home. So can't stop the
Yeah.
king
No,
off. Oh, you missed
two,
one.
two, one ran second. Yeah.
How good was
Unlucky
Simba?
ran second.
Oof.
Yeah, Simba was outstanding. I called Junie home, won at $10.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming. Yeah, it was all around a pretty fair day.
Yeah, so well done again. Wish Sinbra had gone down to Melbourne last week when it would have been double figures. That would have been very good because I don't
Yeah,
think
it
it would
would
have
have
been
been
it there either.
hard to beat.
But we're only as good as our last meeting, so we head into Stradbroke Day. Do some housekeeping first. Jump on to progretracing.com.au to check out all the good stuff there. Form guides, news. Sign up to their mailing list to get notified of when our shows come out twice a week. And subscribe on our socials, Facebook and Twitter. You can leave some feedback directly as we get into Eagle Farm, just pardon the dollhouse. We're all isolated with COVID again, so just doing it
God
from
bless you.
Barbie's back deck. Anyway, Eagle Farm, track should be good. Weather should be okay, I believe. So it should play pretty much rails out 4 meters, should play like it has the last few weeks, which has been okay. I don't think there's been any
Everything's had a
dramas.
chance.
Absolutely. So we kick off with the 2-year-olds over the 1,300 meters in the listed Oxlade Stakes. Beaver, and how are we going to start the day? That's not the most inspiring start.
No, the card does get better after this. It's not the most inspiring start, and sort of 4 horses here, all in the market or under $10. I've settled on Robusta from the Waller stable. I think it's just been racing in a little bit better quality than this, and hasn't been totally outclassed. It's Group 3 at Gold Coast first up, was less than 2 lengths behind Natuna. That was a pretty good run, stuck on well there, stepped up 200 last start, over 1,400 in a Group 2, and got well out of its ground in the back half of the field and finished off okay again. Wasn't that overly too far away from him. Third up here presents well, 1,300. I think that's okay for it. Drawn the 2. Could get the right run here, and Huey Bowman might get us off to a good start.
Yeah, nice find. I sort of found holes in everything I tried to go looking for, so didn't really have a bet to start the day. I might have something on Kamatori right down the bottom there at 50s, just because it's Chris Lees and James McDonald at 50-1 in a 2-year-old race, but I couldn't really get excited about a lot in the first. The second is the listed Wayne Wilson over the mile, where maybe I can't get too excited about things here. I started by penning the lead up the Big Boy Roy race. I said that race was rubbish going in, and I don't think we have much reason to change, even though Big Boy Roy's going okay. Went looking for the stablemate, Bullfinch, 3-year-old, 5-year-old gelding, actually. I thought it was a girl. But 5-year-old gelding going well. It's been impressive in most of its runs this preparation. Lightly racing gets Willie Pike, so happy to be with it at the each-way price here. From Kerwin's Lane, who I think hits a race that suits it quite well, actually. There's not a lot else here. Obviously, Beaver, what have you done?
Yeah, no, I've come up with the other Waller-trained horse, Kubrick. Got a nice liking for this. I thought last start was doing its best work late over the 1,500. So I think the extra 100 here over it really suits. Presents third up here. And I know it was a few lengths off him last start, but if you go back and look at that, it's kind of looked to be a little bit under pressure on the turn, but the last 100, 200 to 100 really hit the line strong. Hopefully there's a bit of pace on here somewhere, and it can run over the top of them. It's not a big field, so it doesn't have to weave past many, but yeah, go back, have a look at that run, and I think you might be interested.
Beautiful. Race 3 is the Group 2 Brisbane Cup over the 3,200 meters. Lots of old sluggers here. What have you done?
Yeah, lots of old sluggers here. I've settled on Through Irish Eyes. It's been ultra consistent of late. I think it gets presented here with its best opportunity. It is the most lightly raced horse here, and therefore I think it's probably got the most upside. Last start was pretty good in a much better quality race than this. Carried 58 behind Point Nepean and gets into this with the 53, which will really suit it. Yeah, I think this sets up really nicely Through Irish Eyes.
Might be mad, but I found Sweet Thomas on top. Hit the line well last week. Out to, or 2 weeks back, out to 32 suits. Back on a dry track, I think Zaaki has been stuck on wet tracks for a long time. A while between wins, but on
It's as
top
old as
for
you,
me.
Daggy.
I know. But I just couldn't get excited about Through Irish Eyes. It goes round and round and round, but does get Jamie Carr. And I'm forgiving
It's only had
Splendiferous.
12 starts.
I know, and it goes round in all of them. Feels like I should be over jumps. Anyway, I'm forgiving Splendiferous the start 2 back where it stuck outside lead for 2,800. So maybe can peak getting, maybe the peak here getting control of this race and they'll all walk around and it might hold in the lead, but not a race I'm going to be charging into, let's be honest. Race 4, I don't know if anyone's charging in this one because I'm still looking for the pace in it, but Gunsynd Classic is a Group 3 over a mile. Race 4, struggled a little bit with this because, as I said, I don't think there's much pace here. So I was sort of specking maybe Hugh Bowman can roll forward on Lock Eagle and lead this. It's led a few times in its career over shorter. If it does get control, I think it's going to be hard to beat. But the 4 all tied together here, probably any one of them can win it. So I'm a bit unsure about which way to go. Did you have any better clarity?
Look, I settled on 2. Lock Eagle was one of them, but I just put Kiss Some on top.
Yeah, it was good last
purely
time.
because I think it was pretty good last start, and I think it might just have a little bit of a class edge on some of these. Was second in the Group 3, and you go back, it ran a really good second behind Kinloch at Randwick. Prior to that, another second at Newcastle, and prior to that, it ran 7th, 4 lengths behind Enemo in February, which I think probably lines up quite well for a race like this.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got form behind, even Paul Eel and horses like that. So for a race like this, I think Kiss Some gets its chance here to win, and it's been ultra consistent of late. So Saturday is the day for Kiss Some.
Beautiful. Race number 5 is over the 1,200 meters, a listed race here. What have you done, Beaver?
Yeah, good little affair here. Tricky race. I've settled on Blondo. I think it presents well here, third up. I think it's come back this prep in pretty good order. It was great run at Gosford when it sat on the rails and got the run through, finished powerfully, and then exploded to the line last up, just over a length behind Soxagon. Which is a sneaky chance in the Stradbroke later in the day. So if Blondo is going as well as I think it is, it can run an almighty race here.
I found the stablemate, but I think there's the 2 chances. I think the Tycoonist lead up might. I'm saying the Soxagon forms the form, which is what he found. He was very unlucky in that race. Probably should have been finished with them. And I agree, Soxagon will get to that. Is a chance in the Stratty. So I'm just going with Tycoonist on top from Blondo. I think the more I think about this race, the more I think there might only be 2 chances. So maybe back to Rangers as third pick, but that is probably all I've got to say here. Race number 6 is the $1.2 million 2,200 weight for age Group 2 Q22. Say all that fast. Look, I've ended up with Huetor on top. Obviously, went straight past Zaaki last time. Looks hard to beat. Am I overly enthused about Karen McAvoy? Not really, but in a $1.2 million race, he'll do the job well enough. From the horse, it just missed behind at Maximal, who looks to maybe have come back well, full prep under its belt in Australia. I think this is a very long tail for a $1.2 million race, Beaver.
Yeah, I think you could be right. Maximal, I'm not quite sure of yet. It's only won the one from 12, and last start was good, but yeah, bit of a question mark there. Huetor I've had to have on top, but certainly the main danger is hopeful.
Okay.
I think it's got some room for improvement in it. Was well found last start. They backed it in, and it got home under heavy conditions. I think it'll be better suited here, in the slightly better going, and I think it's a horse on the way up. So I think you want to save on that.
Yeah, it was. I think there's a bit of a spruik about it around too, so interested to see that. First of the Group 1s on the card is a 2-year-old mile racer, JJ Atkins. What have you done here?
Yeah, I think it comes down to the two that fought it out last start, Sharp and Smart and Political Debate. I backed Political Debate and tipped it, so I'm going to stick strong there. I thought it was good enough there, and I think it's good enough here. I don't think the jump out to 1600. It's slightly raised horse. It's only had the 3 starts, so I think it's still a progressive type. And I know probably Sharp and Smart is being backed in to be slightly favourite, but I think if Political Debate was held up a little bit in its run last start, and I think if it gets out and pings earlier, it probably wins that race a little bit more comfortably and starts a clear favourite here. So not too worried about that. Gate 8 is fine, and it's got the JMac on board.
I went looking for the filly here. She's a belter. Dry track stuff's all really good. It's only 2 misses have been on the Sydney bogs. Really impressive last time, really in the runaway leader. I like for this in a Stradbroke outside gates, looking to get some clear air down the outside. So sort of found it on top. From the horse that just finished behind the other two you mentioned, Ringmaster. Can't believe it's 50 to 1. We'll be having something on that. The up in trip will help it here. Obviously, it has a couple of lengths turnaround on the two that beat it home last time, but right stable, and I think the miles sets up perfectly. And a sneaky bet as well on Basquate inside gate, and just coming through different form lines has been kept away from some of the other stuff. Waller's pretty good at producing the 2-year-olds at the right time. Over a mile again, you probably get high double figures there. So just having a couple of throws at the stumps there. What's that?
I'd want the double figure odds
For
for it.
Vasquate? Fair enough. No, fair. We get to.
I think you're up, but I think Ringmaster's a better chance than it.
Absolutely, at the price for sure, in turn. Because it went right back to last in that big race, and it was hitting the line quite well. So we will, I guess we'll know more, but definitely have to have a ticket on Ringmaster. Put it this way, my best result in the race will be Ringmaster. Race 8, what a cracker. This is the Stradbroke, Group 1 over the 1,400 metres. What have you found here? Take your pick.
Yeah, how tricky is this race here? It's a great field for Stradbroke this time of year. It's an open field with 5's the field. Only 2 horses under double figure odds, and so if you can find the winner, you'll be doing okay. You can probably back a few here and still have a really, really good result. Look, I've settled on Ayrton. The gate 19 worried me, but as I went through the form, I just thought it's the best horse in the race here. I think it's, any of these horses that are drawn out wide, Alligator Blood, Rothfire, some of these Startontes, Brooklyn Hustle, they're all drawn off the track here. So they're all going to need a little bit of luck. But I just think Ayrton is the best horse in the race. It's the up-and-comer. I think that the drier track certainly will suit good track. It's won 6 of its 8 races on a good track, and the other 2 placings. So it's only bombed out in a heavy, and that was last start. So I'm willing to put a line through that. And it was a race won by Zaaki at the Gold Coast. So I'm hoping it can bounce back. But outside of that, plenty of chances. 11-11's going well. There's a few horses here that, Isotope, hopefully it can bounce back to form. I thought it was certainly a sneaky chance. Now it gets drawn better here. And Soxicon, it'll run well again. It's probably drawn suitably there in gate 11 and probably gets the right run here. So I think it can well figure in the finish here. But for me on top, Ayrton, the two main dangers, Soxagon and Isotope.
Don't worry about the wide gates because these big handicaps, you'd want the wide gates. You want them coming down the outside if the tracks, all things are equal. So yeah, you've covered off Ayrton. I think I've got Soxagon on top. I think at the price, it's won both the lead ups and been very good in doing so. And you're getting the best part of 20-1 here from Brooklyn Hustle. I know I'm mad, but widest gate, outside fence, Craig Williams. If it's ever going to win a race again, could set up here, but probably should have gone through the Gold Coast breeding sales. Not like what's already been sold to Rosemont. Anyway, we might not see much. It might be a mum very soon, but outside gate, last row at the stumps. Again, high double figures and right down the bottom of the weights. I assume it's coming here because it's got a jockey if it gets a start, but Frankie Pinot is going quite well. And I think it'll win in Sydney if it starts there. But if it turns up here with no weight on its back, it could be flashing home too. But plenty of chances. A great race. I'm not envious if you're trying to crowbar all of these into the Daggy Beaver. Good luck with that. All right, we'll finish the day with a nice easy one.
Thanks,
no worries. The Dane Ripper finishes the day where Najmaaty is absolutely flying. Super impressive last time out here. Similar setup, similar field, and I think around the $3 mark's a nice enough bet to finish the day. You can forgive Volpine stuck outside lead on that pace last time out. I think it'll improve. And a couple of the sneaky ones you can throw into your quaddies, Let's Be Graham and maybe Maria Mia, but I think pretty keen on Najmaaty in the last.
Yeah, I've got nothing else to add there, mate. I really like Najmaaty as well, flying at the moment. It spread her wings last start. It was fantastic. And the start before that was pretty impressive at Caulfield. So I think it can sit probably a little bit handier in this. Still nicely weighted at the 55, and there still should be enough pace on here for it to finish over the top of these.
Awesome. Do you want to have a crack at the quaddie now? Eagle Farm quaddie.
Yeah, Eagle Farm quaddie. Here we go. In market order, I've got numbers 3, Huetor, 9, Maximal, and 11, Hopeful. In the second leg, I've gone number 4, Political Debate, number 10, Sharp and Smart, and number 13, Ringmaster.
Skinning up, I like it.
Yep.
Got to make some space, I suppose.
Stradbroke, yeah, for the Stratty. I'm going number 4, 11, 11, number 11, Etten, number 15, Isotope, number 1, Private Eye, number 6, Soxagon, number 18, Star Tontes, and number 7, Emerald Kingdom.
Cool.
And to finish off in the last, I'm going number 15, Najmaaty, and number 5, Enchanted Heart.
Oh, nice and skinny in the last. Good stuff, Beaver. For progroupracing.com.au, have you got a best and value from Eagle Farm?
Yeah, my best comes up in race 9, number 15, Najmaaty. I think I'll be winning the last, hence why I've gone a little bit skinny there. And my value bet comes up in race 2, number 4, Kubrick.
Yeah, I thought Najmaaty was obvious to finish the day, but I've gone with I'm going with Bullfinch. I think he can run well earlier in the day, and I'll make my value at the very big odds. A Ringmaster in a 2-year-old race. I think it's well over the odds, and hopefully, with a bit of luck, we might have a bit of result there. We head to Randwick, where we are going to be on a dry track. I think we might even get to good by tomorrow. The rail's in a 3-metre mark. First, it'll be the first good track since the 5th of February in Sydney. You can believe that on a Saturday. But the last time we had a setup like this on a good track would have been in December last year. So, wow.
Makes doing the form hard.
Exciting. 100% it does. So there could be a few jump out of the ground here. So give us, and it's not an easy card by any means either. So let's see how this all pans out. But exciting to be back on top of the ground as we kick off with the highway. I think, by the way, I think it will play running line. If all things have been equal, you want to be running on by the end of the day. Kick off with the highway at 11 o'clock over the 1,500 metres. Have you poked your toe in the water early?
Yeah, I just had to go here at the highway, and I've
Don't
settled
say
on
it.
number 2. I'm
Okay,
not.
no, that's fine.
Number 2, Step Lee. I think this horse has been going pretty good at the moment, and I like the way it finished off at Scone. It was a really nice win over the 1,500 metres. So same distance here. I think it'll be in the running line, as you state, and previous to that was pretty good. So I think it can, Northern brings it to town here, and I think it can run well.
Yeah, I don't have much to add there. Race 2 at 1,100 metres, 2-year-old is very an interesting race. I think there's 2 clear chances, and the market reflects that. But I'm just going with Amelia Romana. Returned with a nice win at Goulburn. Comes here, bit of a claim for Tyler Schiller. Trials leading up were good as well. I think that's one of them. And the obvious is Midnight and Tokyo, who ran Natuno to half ahead also, and gets Kathy O'Hara. So there's that. But I think they're the 2, and you can probably get away with backing both at the current prices. What have you done?
Yeah, I got 2, but I had one slightly different. I settled on Amelia Romagna as well, but I thought the main danger was Vegas Raider from the Pfeiffer stable. Trialled well prior to going out at Scone as well, and won quite well there. Again, running home quite hard, and then has since trialled at Randwick and did enough in that to show that it can run well after being freshened up here. So I think it's a knockout chance as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I just wasn't sure if it was in the best part of it was maybe flattered in the best part of the track last time, but did win well at Scone. I thought, yeah, 3rd pick if I had to line them all up. Race number 3 over the 1,200 meters, benchmark 78. Plenty of first uppers here. Could you split them?
I stuck with the one that's 3rd up, Queen Bellissimo. Both runs this time in have been quite nice. Hung on quite well last start, less than a length behind Huetor, and I think about 4 or 5 horses went across the line together there. The last race on that day, it was a pretty good affair. I think American President ran 3rd in the same race, so I think it can improve here. I think back on top of the ground, it's had 6 starts in the good for 3 wins and 3 placings. Goes well at this distance, and I think probably gets pretty much control here, and therefore could be the one to run down.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think Dylan Gibbons going on's a good thing for it as well. So I agree. I am forgiving Rainbow Connection. I just stuck on the inside last start on a heavy track with first up after a year. So I think can improve, drawn outside now, and is a talented horse, at least it used to be, I think. So we'll see how that goes. Gap back to Tamerlane, who fresh blue colours and will run well as well. The midway is race 4, and it's another one of the big, deep midway fields we seem to get every Saturday. Over 1,200 meters. Nothing I really want to stamp. I'm giving Calgary Queen another chance here. I think stable's going well. Just had a few issues last start. Can forgive that. Outside gate. Probably roll forward here, and Reece Jones takes a bit of weight off as well. Double figures. Hopefully gets a nice running line with fair bit of pace up front there, and can give you a bit of a sight. Moon Reader from the same stable. It's been good this prep. So 2 ticks for Wit up there, but I'm sure the race doesn't end there. Who have you found?
Mate, I stayed clear of it, to be totally honest. I couldn't
Tricky
split all
business,
this form up, and I just thought it was a bit too tricky, and I thought there was better races on the card to have a bet in.
Fair call too. The mile for the fillies and mares benchmark 78. Is this one of them?
It's a good race, this one.
Yeah.
I think there's plenty of chances in this. I think there's probably any of the top 7 you could back, and back a couple of them. I did in the end settle on Niffler. I thought it was outstanding last start. I thought it won pretty hard held. Gets a 2 kilo claim here, third up. It's never been out of a placing, this horse, and I just think it's stepping through the grades nicely. So the claim carries a little bit less than last start, but it got the right run last start. Drawn 5 here probably sets up quite nicely here as well, just off the pace. Some of these others might want a little bit more pace on, and therefore it might just get the sit and be too nippy for them. But I certainly thought flexible at $15 was a chance as well. Gets a claim and has a real powerful finishing burst, and was pretty good first up at Eagle Farm, and gets back here to Sydney, probably again where the track is a little bit drier and hopefully more suitable, but might be looking for further. And second up here may not be the right for it, but could run on over the top of them.
Yeah, I found Niffler as well. I thought it was a nice enough win last week. Quick backup, and this sets up similarly. From this, I didn't know what to do with the stablemate Fine Point. Maybe best part of the track, but it was very impressive. 10-day backup. Will run well again, I think. Inside gate, we'll see how that goes. But I think I'll probably end up playing the race backing Niffler and Nothing Sweet About Me, which is a nice return. If we can lead there, Regan Bayless might be one of the go-to jockeys on the card, and if you're getting $7, $8, $9 around it, depending how the track does set out, it could get a loose lead here and be strong like it was last start. But Niffler on top for me. Benchmark 78 over the 1,000 is race 6, where I have I'm with Siege. I really like the resumption there. Very soft win through the line at Gosford. Again, should get a similar run, drawn the right way to chime in and hopefully run away from these. Doesn't end there though, but I'm with Siege. I think the horse that I thought was over the odds, but maybe a bit short right now, is Hulk. It hasn't won for a couple of years, but both runs this prep have been good. Regan Bayless, and last time it did win, it was 1,100 back to 1,000, so it might just find itself in the right spot by accident here. What are you doing?
Yeah, 100%. I really like Siege. I think it sets up here well, and I think the $4 is quite juicy odds at the moment. Be surprised if it starts that. And as you said, maybe that's because its first up win was at Gosford, but geez, it won easy. And the shorter straight, exploded, more suited here at Randwick, I think. Good track, and all things going well, Siege should be hard to beat.
Absolutely. The quaddie kicks off over the mile with this handicap here. I'm sticking with Art Cadeau. It chimed in well back to Randwick and was very impressive last start, back out to mile suits, loves the track. And Kathy hopefully just has to get it to the outside and will come steaming home. And really was the only one I went looking for. Knight of Power's been okay. Unlucky last start. Yeah, and that's about it for me. Beaver, you got anything to add?
No, I'm on Knight Cadeau as well. Really like this. Bit confused actually why it's $7 in the
Why is it
market,
so
but
long?
it comes to a track. Well, it comes to a track. It's got outstanding career form. It comes to this track. It's won 4 out of 5, and it was placed the other one. Handles the good. It's won $1.5 million. This horse. Next closest in this field is about 500,000, which is Oscar Zulu. So it's set up here. The gate 11 suits. It can get to wherever it wants as long as it gets enough cover. It should be okay. And just raced in better class. It's raced in Group 3 company, this preparation, and listed company, and hasn't been disgraced. Finished 3rd and 5th. Look, Art Cadeau for me.
Yeah, it was easy to find. Race 8 is the listed Bob Charley over 1,100 meters. What are you doing here?
Yeah, tricky little affair here. I've settled on Mr. Mosaic, second up. I don't think there's a lot of pace in this race, and I think it might be able to get control here, or just off the pace. Prime Candidate might go forward and set the pace, but I think it can just sit on the pace or just off the pace and get the right run. Dragonstone's been good, but I'm just not sure it's a winner. And for that reason, Mr. Mosaic for me.
Yep, same. I'm with Mr. Mosaic as well. Yeah, Dragonstone is a danger. I have concerns when they have a quick backup and a trip back up from Melbourne. The trainers tend to say that that's a run in itself, the truck ride. So slight concern there. But I thought Mr. Mosaic, for all the reasons you said, gets control. Reece Jones knows the horse well, and it's a winner. So was an easy horse for me to find here. 1300 meter benchmark 94 is race 9 on the card. Where I'm with, if it's here, I'm here with Frankie Pinot. I think she's going really well. Great resumption at Warrnambool. Really big run in the Group 1 Goodwood last start. And gate 11 hopefully can just chime in and run away and beat a lot of these, less talented horses, shall we say. I think if it's here, well, I'll put it this way, I'm backing it in the Stradbroke. So if it's here, I'm definitely backing it at the $7.50. If it's not, I don't really have a lot to add, to be honest. If it's not, I might have something on the lead at a big price, but hoping she is. What are you doing?
Yeah, I think Frankie Pinot's a huge chance. I'm going to back Lakeen, resuming here. Again, I think the gate 11 suits, be a scratching or two here. Bullfinch is already out. So I think this sets up really nice. And if you go back to its first up, right, it's 1, 2 from 3 first up. It's been in the placings 3 out of 3 here at this track. And if you like Frankie Pinot, Lakeen beat it first up, last time in, over 1400 at Flemington, and beat it well. So for me, Lakeen, obvious choice here.
Tortures me, Lakeen, that horse. Anyway, race 10, benchmark 78 over the 1400 meters, finishes the day. How are you heading home?
Yeah, I'm going to finish off here with the favourite Crosstalk. I think I've got it clearly on top here. Love the way it resumed last start. Well found in the market. Gave nothing else a chance. Prior to that, trialled really well. And last time in, showed enough ability in its 4 starts to have it clearly on top here.
Absolutely. On top for me, dominant resumption. It'll be better for it here. And clearly on top from Jojo Was a Man, who was given very little chance last start. He's come back quite well. And back to Kanazawa, who's going okay. So I guess I've got to do a quaddie, don't I? Race 7 kicks off the quaddie, where I will go number 1, Art Cadeau. Number 11, Night of Power. And I thought about even throwing Star Spangled Rodeo in at a big price with the blinkers going on for the first time, but I'll stick to 1 and 11. Race 8 is 1, Mr. Mosaic, and 6.
Number 2.
2, Mr. Mosaic. 6, Dragonstone, and 11, Authentic Jewel. Third leg, 1, Frankie Pinot, 2, True Detective, 4, Lakeen, 7, Lord Ardmore, 10 on the lead, 13, Cold Crusher. And the last leg will come home with 1, Cafe Royale, 4, Blesk, 7, Crosstalk, 8, Dynamic Impact, and 9, leave Dynamic Impact out. We'll go 9, Jojo Was a Man, and 15, Kanazawa. For progroupracing.com.au, I'll make my best at Randwick Siege. And my value, should she be here, Frankie Pinot? If not, either way, Art Cadeau's value, I think, as well. Beaver, what are you doing?
Yeah, don't know if this is a moment or not, but I'm also going race 6, number 9, Siege. think it presents very well for this race and good value. And my value bet is Art Cadeau,
Oh,
race
look out.
7, number 1.
We're in lockstep
Ring the
at
bell.
Randwick. Give us strength. Have you looked around the rest of Australia? Have you had time to see
Yeah, I
anything in
have.
Melbourne?
I had a quick squiz in Melbourne. I found a few in Melbourne actually that I think can run quite well. Resuming in race 2, number 6, the Gouch. I think it can be super hard to beat. I think race 5, number 2, Cur Royale. I think it'll be winning around the $4.50 mark. Pretty happy with that. Race 6, number 3, Gate Crash. I think it'll win the distance race. And in the last, the resuming the Graves around 450. Got a few there. So if you back those and even one of those wins, you'll finish in front on the day.
Just looking through now, looks a good little card. Actually, I hadn't had time to look
It's
at
not bad.
Melbourne, but looks some good betting. Good job, Beaver. Good punning this weekend, mate.
Thank you,
good
sir.
luck to all the punters. We will talk to everyone on Tuesday night with our midweek preview, or Wednesday morning. And check out progretracing.com.au for much more. Take care, guys, and we'll talk soon.